Coordinating intention. Breaking a negativist's habit of finding comfort in misery and self-torture is incredibly challenging. The real tragedy is that their negativity doesn't just affect their own life, it seeps into the lives closest to them, creating a shared grim reality. The irony is that while negativists appear powerless, they actually wield significant influence. Their conviction that life is terrible and worsening is a form of the will to have. This belief fuels their reality as the world mirrors and fulfills their expectation. In essence, the negativists choose their outlook and the world aligns to match it. A negative outlook often takes root because, from birth, people are conditioned to believe the world is hostile. A newborn's entry into the world is harsh and jarring. From the comfort and safety of the womb, the child is suddenly forced out amid cries and chaos. They may sense their mother's pain and unconsciously feel responsible, laying the foundation for guilt. Bright lights hurt their eyes, warm moisture is replaced by cold, and the umbilical cord, their lifeline, is abruptly severed. The baby struggles to breathe, experiencing the sharp pain of air filling their lungs for the first time. And so, this harsh reality introduces and teaches a devastating first lesson. Survival is a struggle. The trauma doesn't end there. The child is often separated from their mother, placed in a sterile box, and left to process fear, pain, loneliness, and helplessness. Exhausted, the child retreats into sleep, seeking an escape from the overwhelming experience. These early impressions, fear, isolation, and struggle, leave a deep, lasting mark on the subconscious. Pendulums take root easily in this vulnerable state. This harsh method of birth, still considered civilized in many places, leaves an invisible wound that shapes a person's perception of the world for life. Only in rare, specialized clinics is birth treated with gentleness and care, sparing the child from such traumatic introduction to life. The harsh lessons of the pendulum world are deeply ingrained and reinforced throughout life. At first, a child may let go of their mother's hand and run toward life with joyful innocence, but soon reality steps in to teach them that the world is not as safe as it seemed. A fall, a scare, or a parent's worried reaction, like fearing a passing car, instills caution and fear. These early experiences firmly root a tendency towards negativity in the mind. While positivity tries to counterbalance this with lofty dreams or determined efforts to conquer obstacles, it often lacks grounding. Positivity can lead to building castles in the sky or exhausting oneself in an uphill battle to achieve goals. True balance lies in understanding these dynamics without getting swept away by either extreme. So, what do you have to do to make sure that you maintain coordination and walk upon even ground without plunging into holes and clambering over obstacles? Reduce importance and go with the flow? Precisely, except it's not that easy because it's not possible to free yourself from importance completely, and the anxious mind that daydreams and wants to control everything prevents you from going with the flow. Here's a simple yet clever solution. Use the mind's need for control by turning it into a game. The game works like this. Every time something goes wrong, wake up, assess how much importance you're giving the issue, and consciously change your perspective. Your mind will enjoy this challenge. The rules are similar to the humorous battle with the golem, but with an important twist. Here's the core principle of coordination. Choose to see negative events as positive opportunities. If you do, their outcomes will align with your positive perspective, just as negatives often create their worst fears through their focus. It goes like this. If you choose to perceive seemingly negative changes in the script as positive, that is what their outcome will be. Anytime you're faced with a negative scenario, stop, become aware, say advantage to yourself, then turn it into a positive. This turns the negative script into your advantage. If not absurd, it sounds a little unconvincing, does it not? What could possibly be positive about an obvious setback, and what good is there to be found in misfortune? And yet, however strange it may sound, the principle works every time. Once again, we assure you that we're not asking you to believe in the principle. Simply experiment with it. Try it out in practice. There's also a logical explanation for the mind, which we'll go into a little bit, but first I wanted to share this meme that I absolutely love, which is sort of the antithesis to the current zeitgeist of our time, which is all about doom scrolling, late stage capitalism, and the end of the world. Life is effing electric, bro. Don't fall for the doomer shit. That's for losers and normies scared of their own shadow. Walk around like God sent you and smile at everyone you see. Spread light and abundance, build things and take chances. This is the best time in history. As you know, the world is constructed on the principle of dualism, or in Hermeticism, this is the law of polarity, where everything has its opposite. Light and dark, positive and negative, full and empty. In life, every event has two potential outcomes, one favorable and one unfavorable. Your response determines which path you take. If you choose to see the event positively, you align with favorable outcomes. If you default on negativity and dissatisfaction, you shift to the unfavorable path. From the moment the day starts, minor irritations can snowball into a series of problems if you let them. Losing your inner balance over one small issue puts you on a negative path where each annoyance seems to attract the next. This is why people say trouble comes in threes. It's not the initial irritation that causes the cascade, but your reaction to it. By choosing a negative attitude, you align yourself with unfavorable outcomes, creating tension that drains your energy and reduces the effectiveness of your actions. If you keep choosing negativity, you'll continue down a path of increasing frustration, shaping the trajectory of your life. Now imagine a different scenario. Something happens that irritates you. Take a moment before rushing in with a negative attitude. Say to yourself, stop. It is just a game with a golem. Okay, golem, let's play. Whatever is happening, stay positive and pretend that you're pleased. There is a reason why we have the phrases, blessings in disguise, and every cloud has a silver lining. Look for the positive in every challenge or annoyance. Even if you can't find something good, choose to rejoice in the setbacks. It's far better than complaining about them. You'll often find that what seems like an inconvenience ends up working in your favor. And if not, your positive mindset will protect you from greater misfortune and guide you toward a better path on your lifeline. We are usually only discontent when we come up against a deviation in the script. Whenever the mind spots a deviation in the script it has accepted, it automatically perceives the change in a negative light and expresses the corresponding attitude towards it. The mind then strives to bring the situation back under control in its understanding. Now, explain the new rules of the game to your mind. It's still in control, but its role now is to view all events as positive. Activate your inner guardian at the start of the day. You usually have a sense of how the day should go, but if the script changes, accept it. You label an event as negative only because it doesn't fit your plan. Pretend it's exactly what was needed. This approach gives you a flexible control over changes in the script. Don't rush to complain or resist just because things deviate from your expectations. By letting go of rigid control, you regain a more effective kind of control, one that aligns with the flow of possibilities rather than fighting against them. The secret to coordination lies in letting go your grip of control at the same time as taking the situation in your own hands. When the mind keeps things under its tight grip of control, the situation cannot develop in harmony with the alt flow. However, when you accept changes to the script, you let go of imposing your own sense of control. When you let go of the need to control, you actually become able to keep your own attitude and the situation itself under control. Everyone wants a life free of problems where things turn out well. Practicing the coordination principle makes this possible. Coordination is even more effective than trying to influence events through outer intention. The mind cannot predict every detail of what's to come because your world intersects with countless others, each adding their own influence. But the mind doesn't need to anticipate every move. Simply focus on your target slide and follow the coordination principle. Outer intention will then guide you smoothly to your goal. Coordination develops with practice. It is not enough to understand the coordination principle on an intellectual level only. You have to constantly be developing and perfecting the ability. Your guardian must be working constantly too. You must not be oblivious to the moment that you're being drawn into a negative game. Coordination is the most effective means of moving through the alt space. You perceive every event as positive, and so always move onto a favorable branch of your lifeline and more frequently encounter the wave of fortune. Also, be careful not to end up with your head in the clouds. You are not meant to be floating in the air, but rather taking conscious, intentional action that enables you to balance as you ride the wave of fortune. This is the essence of transurfing.